Fnatic, MSI, KawaiiRice versus Root Slush in this game number 1 for week number 3, division number 3. 3-3.
And I have to say, KawaiiRice is one of the most outstanding Terran players that exist in the entire foreign scene.
Why do you think that?
He's just such a good player.
Yeah,
the guy, and Root Slush, he's good. He's alright.
Yeah, I guess.
He's alright.
Root Slush, the orange
Yeah,
Zerg.
I got it. He's the orange, slimy Zerg.
Yeah.
And in the 9 o'clock position, we have the mellow yellow Terran, Mr. KawaiiRice, hailing from, I should know this, Washington?
Washington.
Or,
if you're from the East Coast, Washington.
Washington.
With the R in there.
Yeah, we don't say that, sir. We don't
The
say
whole
that.
East Coast is stupid.
Excuse me?
Yeah, they're all dumb.
You are so stupid, sir.
Except
You are
New York.
so stupid.
New York is awesome.
Well, I'm not from New York. I'm from New Jersey.
I know. Case in point.
Shut your mouth. Shut your dirty, dirty mouth.
Root Slush scouting upwards towards the heavens.
You're saying it wrong. It's
Second Overlord pops out.
Overlord scouting.
No, you're biased. I'm not. I think both these players are fantastic, equally so.
Yeah. Whoa! Did you just call me biased? I'm not
Get outta here.
biased. Oh my gosh! I love this play from KawaiiRice. Putting a barracks down all over the natural. Oh, so good.
It is good.
So good.
It is quite good, Greetorp.
Now this
Quite
is, of course, to eventually block off his entire choke.
Isn't it? Does it take 3?
Is it?
No, it takes
Is it?
more than 3. Dude, are you sure? It's like 4.
Yeah, it looks like 4. I think there's a spot where you can get 3 right here.
It's like the Great Wall of China's going down
2.
right
Yeah,
now.
there's 3 right here. On this. But he's doing the 4s.
Okay, yeah.
You see the 3?
You know what, though? What comes back to me is actually I saw Jelizer versus Show on this map, and it's 3 barracks and a depot if you opt to go that route.
Yep.
But I feel like the Zerg can snap call Baneling bust like July did and win easy peasy.
Well, that's why you don't use a supply depot as your
You
wall.
gotta be careful.
I was saying yesterday that your wall is as good as your weakest link, man.
That's true.
You know, it's like your team. Say a football team. And by football, I mean soccer. See, I got you all excited. I was like, nope, screw it.
Get to your point, Greetorp.
So yeah, I mean, it's kind of silly to put that supply depot. Put it in the barracks. Why not? Put an engineering bay. I don't care. Don't put a supply depot. 5 banelings. LOL. And now we can see
push from KawaiiRice. Not quite sure where to go with this. Now realizing that based upon the pathing of that Overlord that he just spotted, up at the top of the map,
cross positions.
he will be going, and he's actually fairly committed to this. There's a couple SCVs out here. Now, of course, when I say fairly committed, it's not the same as grabbing half your mineral line.
Yeah.
He still does have money saved up behind this, so I feel like he will expand behind it. And in fact, the 2 SCVs could just be for show, to get a reaction out of the Zerg player. We do. Spine Crawler does go down. 6 lings in production. That's quite a bit. Zerg would like to have maybe 2 or 4 lings in a perfect world. Maybe actually 0 in a perfect world, but in a sub-perfect world, it'd be like 4 lings tops. And he's just going to enter this map scouting, and I like what KawaiiRice is doing here. Actually, what the heck is this depot? Why the depot?
Why not?
Does that pin the Marine
Yeah,
back
it pins the Marine, and so that you always can have Xel'Naga tower control until roaches are out.
That's cool.
It's alright.
Well, I like it then.
Yeah, pretty good.
Oh, he did it at both of them.
Yeah, pretty handsome.
Does this other one function, though, actually?
Yeah, both of them function very easily.
Oh.
Both of them. There's a little trick that we saw from Boxer. Boxer did this.
Ling's thinking about running in there, but they actually have equal numbers of Marines now. Now, actually, the Marines are the higher population. And that's not good. Marines do have their hunting rifles.
Oh, man. KawaiiRice, you sneaky, sneaky guy. So he's not even taking the gas. He's going for 3 command centers.
He thinks he's a Zerg player.
He thinks he's a Zerg player. He is
wrong.
crazy. And back in Root Slush's base. Now, Root Slush is known to like his tech and low economy. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him start teching immediately, going to Lair, and then slapping on 3 more extractors rather than taking this 3rd base. But I would like him to take the 3rd base. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the earlier.
Well, what KawaiiRice is doing, I'd be like a huge, giant supporter of if he was facing like a Machine or Idra, or even a Ret. against Slush. It's not like it's an auto lose. It certainly is not, but it's a dice roll.
Yeah.
Slush is not aware of this. He does not have Overlords in the proper positioning, and I think that's a bit of a shortcoming from him. I'd like to see this back Overlord swing around quite a while ago and get over into position for that, because that's so important. That's such an important read on this map, because there's so many different things. You can do a 2-base timing as a Terran, or you can take that super fast third. Now, of course, the third that he took is, like, ridiculously fast, but even if it's just a bit after that, it's still well ahead of, if not equal to, what Slush is doing.
Yeah.
And he has no idea. No Overlord over there. No Ling. Nothing. No idea.
Now look at that. Second, third, and fourth Extractor has been taken for Slush, so he is listening. Well, not listening to me, but he's doing what I said.
Well played.
Yeah. Because I wanted him to expand, but... Of course, that's not Slush's style. It's not Slush's style, man. He likes that early tech, likes to get that in there. I wouldn't even be surprised if we saw, you know, a relatively fast Hive. He loves Hive tech as well. So I expect probably Infestation Pit to go down relatively sooner than we're used to seeing. The Spire is up. I agree with that. I think Spire is much stronger on these map positions, and really on this map until you get your third up. I think you really need that third.
Well, I mean, I agree with you in general. Spire is the correct tech path here. I hate to harp on an issue, but I still just don't like how in the dark he is, because he's just now putting down his third when KawaiiRice's third is actually not that saturated. I feel like it should be being optimized just a little bit more. But what it is doing is it's allowing for just that much more mule energy.
Yeah.
And the mere fact that it is getting mined is a tremendous boon to KawaiiRice's play right now. As you can see, he's just massing up units. It's actually just pure Marine at this point. He is setting up that tech at home at the factory, which will eventually become, I believe, medevac.
Well, yeah, it could be medevac. For right now, I think, because it's slightly later, yes, I agree with that. Tech lab goes down, and then siege tanks will be started ASAP. Also getting the armory, so getting Thors out ASAP as well. Now, this is really important. You have to defend accurately against something like Mutas, and also you have to be careful about Baneling busts. But I'm going to actually retract my earlier statement with the siege tanks, because these Xel'Naga towers are here, and he's already, you know, adequately defended against anything crazy in terms of Baneling busts. I think he's okay. He has the 2 bunkers. He's looking fine, in my opinion. So he doesn't have to worry too much about the Baneling bust. I think right now it's going to be prioritized to the Thors. We don't see siege mode up just yet, and a single medevac coming in.
So I gotta be critical of Slush real quick. I'm seeing, well, okay, now there's 1 creep tumor randomly in the back of his base. But if you look at that mini-map, it is depressingly low of creep. And while he is going Mutalist, Baneling, and it's not that big of a deal just now, it's a huge function of the Zerg composition to have the ability to say, I can get around the map faster than I can without that creep. And as it is right now, he's kind of at the mercy of the Terran play. I feel like he's a passive. He has to play more passive, essentially, is what it comes down to.
Yeah, and now the Mutas are out. And I don't think he'll be able to do any sort of damage. These turrets are pretty hardy. They can keep their own. And in the meantime, we can see in the back, is he getting... No, he's just getting siege tanks. Again, I would like to see at least 1 Thor. Thors are great ways to deal with mass numbers of Mutalisks.
Yeah.
And it really deters them. They say, it forces them... Well, it doesn't force them, but it says, okay, it's better off if you switch, because if I do keep massing Thors, you might be in a little bit of problem just going into that timing push that Terran can do. But both these players playing pretty passively. They just like to just chill out and take their expansions, take their money. And it looks like they're pretty even. They both know how to do this pretty effectively.
Yeah, things are leveling out here fairly well. A little bit of an engagement from these Mutas. Don't really like that. They're actually just, for the cost of a couple of Marines, they're taking a lot more damage than they're worth. On this Mutas, Tech Lab will go down here. Again, all the upgrades are complete, so that, again, is not that big of a deal. Meanwhile, Slush is massing a lot of Lings in the middle of the map. He has taken his 4th base. That's quite a bit later, but the exchange here is that he's getting up this Mutas just slightly faster.
Yes.
And so it's kind of a question of what exchange there is there.
Yeah.
Can he do enough damage to the Mutas? So far, it's not. The answer is no, I guess is what I'm trying to say. A little bit of damage there, though. And he is slowing down KawaiiRice. If you look at KawaiiRice's army, is this the army you attack with? No, I think it's not. And I think that's one of the costs. Oh, okay, actually, I didn't see this whole group of Marines and medevac down at the bottom at his 3rd. Now it's starting to shape up more like a push-out army. But still, that's a lot of Lings in the middle of the map. And actually, Slush has some gas saving. He can make a lot of banelings, I feel.
Yeah, but do keep in mind that, I mean, proportionately, there are a lot of Marines, and KawaiiRice is known for his amazing micro. His micro is very exceptional. He's had that since the StarCraft Brood War days. I've seen him just be so beastly, and on top of that, no creep, man. And then when you have no creep, it's much harder to be effective in your battles, but it looks like we will be seeing a huge engagement coming up pretty soon.
Be careful.
Stim. Oh, the banelings! They come in first!
They get picked off!
Yeah!
Micro from KawaiiRice.
Oh my gosh! Wow!
Excellent choice, and Slush is in trouble. He's got to back away here. It's the banelings that he needs, and unfortunately only had like the 6. They get picked off relatively easily. Now making some more back here, but again, I feel like he should be making like 20. Forget the 8 or 9. And right now, or 10 as it were, KawaiiRice is going to expand behind this attack. Love that choice, floating over the command center, soon to be planetary fortress, I have to imagine.
Yep.
Slush, meanwhile, sitting on 4 bases, but the 4th base is just kind of sporadically supplied right now. And KawaiiRice has gone to 2 weapon attack, 1 armor, with 3 on the way. Slush, got to make something happen here. He's got to be really careful. He needs the banelings on that bio. That's what this whole fight's going to come down to.
Tell me that was not beautiful micro. That Marine split was just fantastic. And it looks like, oh, whoa. It looks like my mouse just went haywire. But it looks like might be gearing up for another push. Now, I love this position that KawaiiRice is taking. It seems really, you know, okay, he's taking like sort of center control, but no, it's kind of forcing Slush's army to kind of segment a little bit. And it's like, where do I defend? Nice. Oh. Nice.
That tank in 2 shots gets 9 kills, making it look easy. Infestor is out here, and that is devastating. You can micro all the heck you want. If you're covered in boogers, you're not going anywhere.
Yep.
A lot of orange on the map. Slush swinging around here. Looking like he might get aggressive. He is leaving behind like 6 mutas. I really wish he would mess them up.
Great activity with Slush just around the entire map, forcing KawaiiRice. If he doesn't retain these sensor towers, he might be in a lot of trouble. And now here we go in with the Mutalisks. They do see a little bit of opening, but no, the siege tanks will siege up. Do keep in mind there's a drop going on in the top middle. It's gunning for that 12 o'clock expansion. Meanwhile, still a lot of activity with Slush. So I like this dancing with Slush. He's just moving around, seeing if there's ever a spot where he can catch his opponent out of position. If there is, he's going to go for it. He's going to take advantage. So far, he hasn't seen anything, but it looks like it wants to muscle through. He's targeting down the siege tanks immediately with the mutas. And wow, there's a lot of layers.
Slush surging forward. Still has the Fungos. Massive Fungal goes down. And KawaiiRice has been wiped off the face of the earth in terms of his army, but so has his Zerg army. In fact, it's almost a straight trade. Now it's just the mutas reigning supreme, but he's got to be careful. They're not that... I mean, they don't have that much health. You really don't want to lose mutas. And now KawaiiRice's force will push out and secure that planetary fortress. Meanwhile, that drop, stemming forward, going to run into 2 spine crawlers, and unfortunately, without that medevac, that's more than a tickle. It's like a sting. It's a very big wasp sting.
It will be thwarted, but keep in mind, if we go back to the reproduction of these units, much harder for Slush. But thankfully, he's kept a good amount of Mutalisks. I like this pick on the Extractor. He won't be able to take it down. But keep in mind, I mean, Slush was pretty good at reproducing that army. He didn't have to make too many mutas. He can commit it elsewhere. And KawaiiRice lost all of his tanks. And rebuilding your tanks is very costly, and it's very time-consuming.
A couple of Thors now as well. That's going to be problematic.
Thor is here.
And Thor is here.
Slush
is fairly committed with his tech, too. He's got no... No, mine was way better. No Roach Warren. He does have Infestors coming out, but honestly, that's like the second or third response to Bio, not the Thor itself. And he's going to push forward, and he's got it. Okay, that stung a little bit. He has to know. Yeah. There's no pushing that.
No.
That's a dug-in Terran right there.
Yeah, there's no way that he can do anything about this force, or excuse me, about KawaiiRice's force. It's just too hardy. And now it looks like he wants to swing around from behind. Oh, but I don't like this engagement. The Banelings are just not blowing up on anything productive, and everything gets smashed so hard. KawaiiRice is going to use this timing.
So many mutas too.
I would love him to take off the 12 o'clock. I know he's going to push into the natural because it's very like KawaiiRice to do that, but I would much rather him push into the 12 o'clock and deny that instead.
Well, he's going to go for it. And actually, he only has his tanks. The tanks get surrounded. Big bubble! Oh, it does go down to get some of the medivacs. There's the paylings, and they all get lit up. Unfortunately, though, Slush just doesn't have the unit count. So, huge engagement, and Slush might be able to eke out an advantage here. But honestly, these are trades right now.
Yeah, and no, it's very beneficial right now for KawaiiRice. Now he's moving into the top middle position. Crucially, he lost all the mutas. When you lose all the mutas, you're pretty much bopped in the face.
Here. Yeah.
And now we can see, siege tanks, multiple siege tanks moving up to that top middle position. There's no way he'll be able to stop this. Slush will be able to stop this. And he's going to go boom, 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 kill all these Zerglings coming in, streaming units trying to get up there. But to their dismay, they'll not be liking what they see.
No, I mean, this is the disadvantage of expanding to this location.
Yep.
It's strong in the sense that the Terran player has to commit a full force to just destroying this expansion. However, if you lose your mobility with those Mutalisks, now it's in God mode. 4 tanks are under siege in the middle of the map, and those Mutalisks will be thwarted as well. Now the tank count for KawaiiRice is getting quite high here. Wants to be a little bit careful about that. It is just Lings he's facing, so you don't necessarily need the 35 siege tanks. He doesn't have them, man. I'm exaggerating tremendously, but Greater Spire is under construction. It will be done momentarily, very soon here, in fact. 5 infestors as well. Slush triple expanding in response to losing the one base, so he did have a bit of a slip up with his economy. Stored up a lot of resources, but the question is, can he survive long enough to make use of any of that? I feel like the answer is no.
Yeah, it's looking kind of bad. And now KawaiiRice, he's just all over the map, man. This middle position, that clamps that stuff down so hard. That movement play that Root Slush was trying to do before is not going to work anymore, as just KawaiiRice has too much of the map control. He is maxed at 200, 197, well now 186, but he was maxed. And now he's moving across the map, unopposed, really. And rightfully so. And Slush can't do so.
Slush might try a counter here. He's actually just going to go for the reinforcements. But everywhere he turns, he's outnumbered.
Yeah.
And whenever that's the situation for a Zerg, that's got to feel pretty hopeless. And now we do lose that base as well. The 4th and 5th base in the southern region of the map have been finished, but they will not be enjoying any kind of immediate drone saturation. And actually, the natural for Slush has dried up. The 3rd is not too far behind, and he could just dry up here.
Yeah.
He's got sub 100 minerals. He is building 6 Broodlords, and that will be quite powerful. There are no Vikings in production. It will just be Thor Marine. But again, with the lead that KawaiiRice has, I'm finding it hard to see a win scenario for the Zerg player here.
Yeah, there is no win scenario right now, as Slush is about to lose his 6 o'clock double expansions, I should say, as these Marines head on over there. Yes, they do.
Yep,
and
there it goes.
Look at that.
You didn't even get to see the Broodlords coming to the field, but honestly, if you don't have enough money to sustain the protection for the Broodlords, because Broodlords only hit ground units, and they do it wonderfully, but if you don't have Corruptors, Infestors, Hydras, or whatever, to make sure that those Vikings don't pick them off and the Marines don't get directly under them, it's game over, and that's what happened.
Yep. And at the end there, KawaiiRice did a little tribute to me. He got the Terran building armor. He's getting it.
Oh, you think that was for you?
It was probably for me. I'm going to say it's for me, because I always hark on him. I'm like, KawaiiRice,
you hark on him?
Yeah, hark on him. Is that a right word?
No.
Alright. I hark on him. I said, get a 3rd engineering bay and get those upgrades. He didn't get a 3rd engineering bay, but he got those upgrades. Really happy.
Well, to touch on the game itself, I think KawaiiRice was in dominant form all game long.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple of the expanding early against Slush, we were like, I don't know if it's going to work, but it worked out brilliantly because Slush rolled macro with his little dice, and unfortunately for him, he rolled macro while KawaiiRice was rolling crack cocaine macro, meaning he was all over the place.
Okay. Yeah.
Steroid. Nope, that's still bad. Giant pony macro.
How about
giant
stim? Look at that. Boom.
Yep. That's the stuff.
That's the stuff.
So KawaiiRice does take the first game 1-0 in this best of 3. Slush, sitting pretty in the group at 2-0, is facing his first loss in the North American Star League, and he will go into the defense mode, or perhaps the rage mode, whatever Slush has.
I don't think he really rages.
He's going to try to win in game number 2 against KawaiiRice, who is 1-1, so stay tuned. Okay, it's Fnatic MSI KawaiiRice versus Root Slush, game number 2, week 3, division 3. This is KawaiiRice leading 1-0 over Root Slush. Slush, again, as I said earlier, he looked amazing in his first 2 matches, crushing his opponents, not even giving them a chance. But here we are with that KawaiiRice. KawaiiRice TVZ, quite strong.
He says he's amazing at he even knows he's amazing at TVZ. That's how confident he feels in it.
What's with you Fnatic kids? We had, what did Phoenix say in the chat? Let's throw him under the bus a little bit.
He said,
nobody can survive my timing.
Yeah, he said, like, my timing, or my aggression imba, or something like that. He played against the last Zerg he played, it was Vibe.
He played Vibe. And those ridiculously short games, and Greetorp messaged him afterwards saying, hey, good job, nice, and he's like, oh, yeah, nobody can survive my timings, TBZ. So we've been having a bit of a laugh because Phoenix is a young guy, very confident. He's always been successful in StarCraft Brood War and now StarCraft 2. So he's built up certainly an amount of self-confidence, if you could put it that way. And he's always good for a soundbite after any series he wins. When he loses, you can't find him. But, you know, you MSI kids, you Fnatic guys, got the confidence. That's
so
good.
Well, sort of. I mean, Pyam TT1 will have confidence sometimes, but if his keyboard is off by 1.1 millimeters, he goes berserk. He's like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't play.
Anybody.
I can't play. And KawaiiRice, he's like hit or miss. Like, it's either he's amazing at a matchup, or he's like, I have no confidence at this whatsoever.
Polar opposites. Now, KawaiiRice is opting for that Barracks Depot annoying placement at the base of his ramp, and I say annoying because what it essentially does
run away
is Slush has no idea what's going on up there, and he could lose this. He could lose this SVU.
No, KawaiiRice, don't lose it. He's not. He's good.
But
it's cool.
So at the top of that ramp, there could be another barracks, there could be a command center, there could be double gas. He has no idea.
No idea.
And you have to kind of play that, or roll the dice a little bit. Slush is rolling it. He is opting for the expansion. I think that's wise, because what KawaiiRice is looking to shape up to do is to fast expand.
Yeah. Indubitably, I would agree to that, as there are no refineries, and look at that. Go, go. Not 6 barracks. Not 6 barracks. Boom. Command center.
Do you know, what is the meaning of anti-disestablishmentarianism?
I have no clue, man.
You're saying you're going to use that. It actually has, like, an application.
I know it does. I remember I used to use it. I used it in a report.
Get out of here.
I did use it in a report. It was a history report. I just don't remember what it was about.
Nobody can use that word with a straight face. Did you know it's no longer the longest word in the dictionary?
What is it?
I don't know what the longest one is, but it was.
Well, anti-disestablishmentarianism isn't even a word. It's just like add-ons. You know, anti-dis, and then establishes the base word. Mentarianism. That's all. Yeah. I mean, of course, I could have broke that apart. But it's not really one word. It's just, you know, those
I don't even have to tease
add-ons.
I just have to let you talk about specific things, and it does the work for itself.
I don't get it.
I know. I'll explain it to you afterwards.
Dude, you have to... There's so much explaining that always needs to be done after every single one of these casts.
I know.
Like, Greatorp,
Think of all
okay.
the growth you're experiencing.
Okay, Greatorp.
Again,
This is why you don't say this.
Slush is just, again, kind of taking shape. One thing to note here, that's a really fast Roach Warren.
Yep.
So I was about to go into how basic he's playing, but it's not at all. He's not even saturating his natural. He saved his larva. He's not building a second queen specifically because it would cut into his
second
Roach
queen.
count.
He didn't build a first queen, sir.
Get out of here.
You are so stupid.
I just assumed.
You are so stupid.
Yeah, there's no queen at all. It's just pure Roach at this point.
Talk to you about it later.
You're so bitter, man. You're an angry kid.
I'm not angry. I'm the nice guy. I'm like everybody's friendlyhood neighbor. What? Neighborhood.
I'm gonna cut you off. We're gonna talk about StarCraft real quick. Roach is making their way over to the base of KawaiiRice. He's in trouble.
Yes.
He does have a tech lab. He has started the expensive stim pack upgrade. It's pure Marines coming out here. No bunker.
Yeah.
And he has no idea.
Get a bunker now, but he will not be happy with this. KawaiiRice, get the heck out of here. No! By 4 Marines.
And he tried to dance, and that's a huge chunk of his Marine force.
Yeah.
Kind of nice to bait him over towards the cliff, but it cost him 3 Marines, I think.
Yeah.
No, just 1, actually.
He said, Mr. KawaiiRice, you can dance if you want to.
You can even leave your friends behind.
Nice.
But now, I mean, okay, it's just pure roach. There's no macro going on behind this at all. No queens.
Supply cap.
Yeah, he is supply caps. He's building 2 overlords, and just now the bunker's going down for KawaiiRice. I feel like that's drastically late.
Yeah, he's trying to get a marauder out of here, but it will not be in time. Do keep in mind he has 8 SCVs ahead of his opponent, but still the amount of roaches here, it is just way too much. And now he's just targeting all the Marines. And actually, a nice little pick, but there are more. There are too many roaches, man.
Now, these Marines have to focus down individual roaches. It can't be an attack when they're by themselves. And this is really precarious. He's got to stop mining gas. Who cares about gas right now, KawaiiRice?
Oh, cancel that stim.
He's focusing down the stim. No way. Stim gets denied as well. An excellent micro by Slush, moving those wounded roaches into the back. You can see the one in the red actually removed completely from the fight, now re-emerging. And KawaiiRice making a stand right here. Does he have enough units? It's down to 4 roaches. 1 limping around off its 1 good leg. And just now Slush switching back into some drones. But he's done a lot of damage. He's actually ahead in harvesters at this point.
He needs to back the crap up.
And he can still win this fight.
KawaiiRice. Now, there's another reinforcement round of roaches in here. Yeah. I think it's getting a little bit too deadly. Nice micro picking off the weaker ones, but still the strong roaches are really, really too hard, I think, to pick off. Now we can see just a couple of these Marines try to get in here. If he kills that one double supply depot, no. Very quick game. That's the Cats build, man. That's the Cats build. No queen, just every single allocation is towards your roaches, and it's quite strong. Personally, I know because Slush has done this to me when I go a lowered depot and then barracks on the bottom of the ramp, and it's just so hard to stop. You need to get the bunker in there so fast, else you're screwed, or you need to have your scouting SCV in there for a very long time.
I mean, I feel like KawaiiRice had actually a few sluggish responses. First and foremost, he had no middle of the map presence, so when those roaches kind of marched their way across the map, I feel like it was only at his tower that he realized, oh my gosh, this guy's doing low econ roach. Yeah. And then once the roaches were present in his base, okay, he can make a couple of mistakes. It's understandable. It's crisis management at that point. But one of the biggest mistakes he made was not immediately throwing down a bunker somewhere at the top of his base. Yeah. When 6, 7, 8 roaches show up, at that point in time in the game, there's no economy behind that. This is like a form of an all-in. Now, Slush is the master of making it seem like it's a pseudo-macro opening, because I truly believe he can do that. Like, if he doesn't have damage to the harvester count and forces enough bad reactions out of the Terran player, even if he doesn't win the game outright, because he slid in a couple drones each time, he will have a big enough lead where it makes sense. But the bunker, you have to throw down the bunker, and because KawaiiRice was left naked with his Marines, even when he pulled his SCVs, he was able to delay the inevitable, but because he was doing that, he was giving all the advantages to Slush.
Well, let's be honest. He punished the no scout. He punished the no scout. A lot of times what happens is you get your SCV in there, and you can see up to when they first make the queen. Okay, the 150 minerals, you don't have enough to make a queen and 3 zerglings. So when you don't see the queen being started, and maybe you see 3 zerglings or whatever it might be, 3 being hatched, you can say, oh, something's up. And on top of that, the Roach Warren had to be started right after the spawning pool was created. That's a huge timing for KawaiiRice to get his SCV in there and check what's going on, but he didn't, and he got punished for it.
Yep, so that's game number 2. We're going to go to our first game number 3. Kind of exciting, and it will be on Backwater Gulch. Stay tuned with us as we see who's going to make it out of this best of 3.